Hey guys, today I'm going to be talking about something new and go a little different direction. I wanted to talk about some of the basic beginner things that would have helped me when I started in the aquarium hobby. Hey guys, this is Jessmosis again, and welcome back to the channel. Like I said earlier, I want to talk about some things that I thought would have been extremely helpful if I could find it in one spot. And this is catered to what I think would have been helpful for me. So if I missed a few things, feel free to comment below and add to this list. We're going to talk about probably about 3 major things that would have been extremely helpful for me. So before we get into that, if you guys are enjoying my channel and you want to see more videos like this, please hit that subscribe button. And if you guys have some suggestions for the type of videos you want me to do in the future, please leave a comment below. Or like I said, if you have any information that can add to this video, please comment below and please help me out. I'm still pretty new in the aquarium hobby. I've been doing it for about 2 or 3 years, and it would be extremely helpful and appreciated. So now that I've talked about that, let's go ahead and dive into this. So first up, I'm going to talk about acronyms. So these were extremely confusing to me when I first got into the hobby. I'd be looking up like a fish or something, and then I would see like this acronym like LFS, and I'm like, what the heck does this mean? Now, we're in the aquarium, us Aquarius that are already in the aquarium hobby, we know what it means. It's pretty simple, and we think it's the basic thing that everybody just knows. But that's not true. It took some research for me to find out what some of these acronyms meant. So first up, like I said, is LFS. This is pretty simple. This means local fish store or shop. So if you see LFS, they're talking about their local fish store. So pretty simple. Next up is Fowler. Now what Fowler means and is spelled like is F-O-W-L-R. So we say it as Fowler. So it means fish only with live rock. So you generally want to do this when you are battling some kind of disease or such, and you don't want to introduce any more diseases and stuff, and you want to maybe treat your fish with copper. So it's mainly done in like quarantine systems. So that's what Fowler means. So if you ever see that pop up, now you know. So next up on the acronym list is LARS. Now what this means is lazy ass reefer syndrome. So generally when people talk about tanks getting old and having an old tank syndrome, that's another one, OTS, this isn't generally not true. This is generally connected to the LARS system. Generally this is, I'm saying generally a lot, this is due to the fact of whoever is maintaining the aquarium is kind of being lazy and not maintaining it properly, not cleaning the detritus out, and making sure they're blowing off the live rock, the sand, and getting all that, like I said, detritus out. And that's what creates that old tank syndrome. There is a really good video on this, and hopefully I can find it. I'm going to actually post that in my comments down below. Great information about LARS. Next up, I'm going to be talking about is RODI. So what this is, and is generally more related to saltwater side than it is freshwater, although it is extremely helpful for freshwater side as well. I do have a freshwater tank and I do use it for it. What RODI stands for is reverse osmosis deionized. So this means you are reverse osmosis deionizing your water, which means it pulls out your TDS. So TDS is another acronym which stands for total dissolved solids in your water. So your RODI strips the TDS out of your water. So this makes it very helpful for the aquarium side or for any aquarium really, because it strips out those nutrients out that algae would actually just feast on. So it helps you control your algae issues. And it actually just strips out the chlorine and all that chloramine, all that stuff that's, I don't know if it pulls out the chloramine, but pulls all that stuff out that is negative to your fish and your tank. So RODI system is extremely recommended for any saltwater tank. Next up is going to be kind of on the coral side. Now we have I don't know if this is much of a scientific thing. I think it's more of just a common tongue thing between coral reef keepers. So we have LPS, SPS, and Softies. I know Softies is not an acronym, but I'm just going to throw it in here because it actually just goes along with these other two. LPS stands for Large Polyp Stony. So generally you'll see this with, it has a stone, like a skeleton bottom base with a very long polyp that lives on top of it. This is usually associated with like a lot of euphyllia, like torches and hammers and frog spawn. You can also have your acans and such like that. So those are usually like your LPSs. Now the SPSs are related to, they literally look like just a piece of skeleton, a very colorful piece of skeleton that if you look very closely into, it has like little polyps sticking out of it if they're very happy and healthy. So, and the last one, Softies, of course, are more related to the your leathers, your zoas, and some of that stuff. So now that you know that part of it, we'll move on to the next. Now we talked about all the acronyms that would have helped, that helped me learn when I was getting into the hobby. We'll move into the live rock and dry rock. So what is the difference between live rock and dry rock? Generally, when you're first getting into the hobby, you don't know. So because I didn't. And it's pretty simple. It sounds simple to any basic reefer, but anybody new to the hobby, like I've been saying, is probably lost. So dry rock is literally just fresh rock that has been mined, that has never been in an aquarium setting, or it's kind of a lie. It could be in an aquarium setting, then pulled back out and bleached. But this is literally a brand new rock that you can use to create and start your aquarium with. Now live rock is something you can generally buy from a store that already has things living on it, kind of like coralline algae, your amphipods, copepods, whatever, bugs, all that good stuff. But there's always a downside to that. You could get some bad things along with the live rock, so I always try to go dry rock so I can start fresh. But you have to cycle the tank. Next up is a sump. Now this goes along with what a overflow box is, and these two together, when I was first researching into what a sump was, it was kind of confusing to me, and it was kind of, nobody really put a pin on what it meant. Obviously, even if you're not in the aquarium hobby, you know what a sump is. It pulls water out, puts it somewhere else, basically. So when I was first getting into the aquarium hobby for my 40-gallon breeder, I didn't want any equipment in my tank, so I looked into what a sump was. So what a sump basically does is it's a large filter. So what you can do with that is you can put in more live rock or dry rock into your sump. You can make a refugium out of it, and a refugium is generally latched onto like having Chaeto or something in it to help combat algae growth in your display tank. And it's literally just a big filter that you can literally do anything with to experiment, and you could put your equipment in it. You could put your skimmer, your heaters, and all that good stuff in it to help aid your main display without putting anything in your main display to make it look, I don't know, kind of ugly, because nobody likes equipment in their main display. Everybody likes it to be nice and clean. So, but without an overflow box, this wouldn't be possible. So an overflow box is used to, once the water level reaches a certain level, it will drain out into this box in the back of the tank, generally in the back of a tank, and what it does is it drains water into your sump area to filter that water, to heat it, to pull those nutrients out in the Chaeto, and to put it back into your main display to help make your water nice and clean and to keep a nice circulation on it. Alright guys, so that's it for me. I know I've talked a lot and I'm not sure how long this video is going to be, but I appreciate you guys dropping by and soaking up some of this information. I really hope this is very good information for anybody that is looking into the hobby. I know I have a lot of people that are local around me that ask me questions, that are new into the hobby, that their kids are getting into the hobby. They just ask me basic questions, and hopefully some of this is very helpful. I felt like some of the other stuff is common knowledge, even to the beginners coming into it, but some of this stuff that I touched on in this video was some of the stuff that I was really confused about when I saw people talking about it online, and it was very helpful for me, and it took me months to find all this information because I didn't have anybody local to really talk to about the reef aquarium or even the freshwater side to help aid in some of this stuff. So appreciate you guys stopping by. If you enjoyed the channel, hit that subscription button. If you liked the video, hit that like, and if you disliked it, please hit that like button because it's just an upside down, you know, like button. So I might as well just use the same thumb because, yeah, I don't know, I'm stretching here. So thanks guys for stopping by. Peace. Alright guys, so I'm Jessmosis. Feel free to click on my stupid face, give me that subscribe, and if you want to see what I'm doing when I'm not on YouTube, feel free to check out my Instagram. So I'm always posting on there, and if you want to see any other videos, if this is your first video you've seen of mine, feel free to click on any of these two that you see on the end screen. So take care guys, and reef on.